Null, the god of the symbiotes, the king of death, has invaded Earth and is all over the place causing problems for Venom, the Avengers, and Spider-Man. Can they stop him? Today we're going to find out what the Fantastic Four, Black Panther, and the Thunderbolts are doing to fight this battle. This is the Comicstorian channel where we take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. And then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective owners. So King in Black, like I said in the beginning, is a series where Null, the king of the symbiotes, the god of death, has invaded Earth. A lot of stuff is going on, but today's episode is going to have a couple of the tie-ins and how some of your favorite superheroes are fighting these evil dragons and god of death beings. So we have the one-off Black Panther tie-in, and then we're going to do part 2 of the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts is basically a suicide squad created by Kingpin and led by Taskmaster. They've been sent to Ravencroft to team up with Norman Osborn. That's all you really need to know where we are in that storyline. After that, we're going to be covering Fantastic Four, which is a little bit weird, so when we get there, I'll explain how that one fits in. Hope you guys enjoy. King in Black, Black Panther, number 1. As the lands of Wakanda are ravaged by the ever-growing scourge of the symbiote dragons, Black Panther flies above it all trying to formulate a plan. But there isn't anything that he can do. Not now, at least. Black Panther rockets into the ground, telling everyone to stealth. They must retreat for now. We cannot save the fallen, but by Bast's teeth, no more will fall. As the warriors rally around, Black Panther releases a blast, knocking all of the nearby symbiotes away, saving as many as he can. Back in Biranzana, Shuri looks over their defenses and sees that the outer shields have been breached in several locations and that the symbiotes are flooding in. They do not have the numbers to fight back this infection. Their best option is to gather as many survivors as they can and run. Okoye says that there are too many to just run, and then a voice tells Shuri that there is always another way, and Black Panther walks in. She hugs him but notices that he is alone. She asks him where is Storm, and after a short pause he tells her, Aurora is no longer a factor. Now, we will open up the prototype vault, number 14. Nothing in the others will be useful. Our people must be brought to the city's shelters, protected from the invaders. You will lead the operation personally. Shuri asks if that's not a job for him. And Okoye says that they must stand and fight the creatures. An organized military response now, but Black Panther stops her. Shuri will protect the people. She will pilot the hand of the Bast. Shuri yells that they can't, but Black Panther walks off stating, we have lost more than half of our forces getting here. The vibranium alloy armor isn't enough to keep the creature's infections at bay. A screen appears showing one of Null's dragons flying over a city, and Black Panther goes on stating, the dragon is a plague storm. It transforms all animal life in its wake into the creatures invading Wakanda, who, in return, transform and kill all that they can. This is happening all over Africa, all over the world. This is Wakanda's fate if the enemy's progress cannot be stopped. The shield will not protect us. The invaders exploited a frequency variance in order to get in. Added power makes no difference. The shield can only slow them down, not stop them. There is no time for debates. You must do as I say. You must trust that I have a plan to save us. Trust in me. As Black Panther and Okoye leave, Shuri heads into the vaults telling the computer that they will be opening up Vault 14. Begin preparations. She then puts on a necklace and sets down a small object and begins to chant. Over in Biran Bashanka, Cell yells to her warriors that they must form a wall. Protect the people! One of the warriors holds, stating that there are too many of them. How can they hope to hold them all? Shuri flies down with one of her dolls, stating that they will because they must, for they are Wakanda. But while everyone continues to hold back the swarm of symbiotes, Black Panther gets to work in his lab. Using the molecular structure of the aliens that Eddie Brock provided, he should be able to create something. However, the dragon in Biran Bashanka begins to rain down more of its goop onto Shuri's dolls, converting them. Black Panther radios to Okoye, asking if she's ready, and she tells him, yes, is it time? Black Panther says yes, and in a few seconds, the projection that is the hand of Bast bursts through the ground, biting into the dragon. Okoye says that she prays that this will be enough, but Black Panther continues to work, stating that the hand of Bast was built to kill the Phoenix. She is born to protect Wakanda. But while Okoye takes on the dragon, back in Black Panther's lab, the now infected Shuri breaks through the doors. She looks at her brother and demands him to see her, to see what he did to her. He gave her to Null. As Shuri lunges, Black Panther steps out of the way, firing a sonic blast, narrowly missing. Shuri asks if this is his final weapon, Claw's sonic emitter. Even if it did hit her, it's too small, too weak. Black Panther leaps out of the hole in the wall that he created, stating, "I know." She follows him outside, grabbing him. Null is better than all of them. Null came before magic, before science, before life. Black Panther swipes at her to free himself, clawing his way up to one of the nearby statues, telling her, "You are not my sister! You may be a powerful entity, but you do have vulnerabilities." She chases, screaming, "Null will eat you, as he has eaten your beloved and your sister. Null will eat the world." Black Panther activates the emitter again, pointing it towards the sky, stating, "I think not. Goodbye, Null." As the sonic blast hits the shield, it acts as an amplifier, releasing a shockwave powerful enough to rip the symbiotes off of everyone. The blast travels far and wide and is even powerful enough to pierce a hole in Null's dome surrounding the world. The sun begins to shine, and Shuri gets up asking if it worked. Is Wakanda? Black Panther helps her up, telling her, yes, Wakanda is forever. King in Black, Thunderbolts number 2. As the Thunderbolts walk through Ravencroft, Taskmaster says that he really didn't miss this place. And Mr. Fear says that they're probably going to have to grab some inmates to replace their dead teammates. Taskmaster then looks at Norman calmly walking and asks, "What's the matter? You're not your usual psychotic self." Norman says that he is just trying to be of some use to them. Mr. Fist told him that he was sending rescue, but he was expecting someone more capable. As Norman opens up the door to the security office, Mr. Fear walks in asking, "Did you speak to him?" The fat man said that he'd have a plan for... But at that moment, over the computer, Kingpin clears his throat. Mr. Fear yells, "Hey! When I said fat man, I was actually talking about Blob." Kingpin asks, "Is Taskmaster dead?" And Mr. Fear tells him, "No." So Kingpin says, "Good. Taskmaster, hit Mr. Fear." Taskmaster punches Mr. Fear in the face, and Norman asks Kingpin, "What will you have us do now?" Kingpin tells him, "For starters, don't ever get that close to the camera again." However, this next part will only be for Taskmaster and Norman. "Everyone else leave." Taskmaster waves everyone out, stating, "You heard the man. Everyone who doesn't dress up like a goblin, get the hell out." As everyone else leaves, Mr. Fear sees a cell and asks, "Wait, is that you, Figment?" Figment comes to the door asking, "Mr. Fear? I don't recognize you without the mask." Mr. Fear turns and asks Batroc if they can open up some of these doors. Figment here could join them. Batroc tells him, "No, our team already has an idiot." Mr. Fear walks over, putting his hands up, asking, "Are we gonna have a problem?" And Batroc stands there in silence, with Mr. Fear asking, "What are you doing?" And Batroc tells him, "I'm figuring out if I were to kill you, how I'd do it." With his arms still folded, Batroc kicks upwards, lifting and pinning Mr. Fear against the wall by his neck, telling him, "I would likely collapse your trachea and let you drown in your own blood." But then there's an explosion and Taskmaster runs out asking, "What did you idiots do?" Star says that she's pretty sure it wasn't them, probably that drippy space dragon that's crawling in. And Taskmaster looks at them, "Screw this, mask back on. If Kingpin wanted to enforce a dress code, he should have come to the dance." As everyone suits up, Taskmaster asks Norman, "Are you sure you don't want to break out the old rags and join in?" Norman tells him, "No, I have to make sure the rest of the facility is secure. You can handle this one." As the prisoners are all becoming infected by the symbiotes, they begin to break out of their cells, with Mr. Fear asking, "Do you remember when I mentioned recruiting some people and you acted like it was the dumbest idea ever?" Null didn't think it was. Mid-kick, Batroc tells him, yes, the evil gothic spaceman agrees with you. You must be very proud, Mr. Fear." As everyone shoots, slices, kicks, and blasts their way through the horde of symbiotes, Taskmaster tells everyone, "Get ready, we're leaving this place, head to the garage." The prisoners who are not infected all begin to reach out of their cells, they begin to scream for help, and Star says that they should help them, but Taskmaster stops. "You're kidding right now, right? They're psychos and we have a job to do." She stands her ground, telling him, "Yeah, we're supposed to save people." After an awkward silence, Taskmaster stops. "Fine. But we're talking about this later." A few moments outside, a bus slams into a deer, causing it to explode, and Batroc says, This is the worst job that I've ever had. Inside, Mr. Fear happily is driving, and Star asks, is this really our plan? And Taskmaster states, that's Norman's plan, unless you have something better. He should be giving off tremendous energy. Reach out with your powers, let it flow through you. Star asks if he's quoting Star Wars, and Taskmaster says, no, okay, yes. I really don't know how that magic rock that gives you powers works. Just go out there and try to find him. If you don't, the world ends. After Star reluctantly agrees, Taskmaster kicks her out of the back, stating, great, good luck. Back inside, Batroc asks, did you really just throw Madame out of the vehicle? And Taskmaster walks back to the front of the bus asking, are you really going the speed limit? There's no one outside. Mr. Fear says, look, I'm crazy, but not suicidal. The speed limit is the maximum allowed speed, and with larger vehicles, it's suggested to drive below that. But while the two begin to bicker about the speed limit, Batroc says, hey guys, you should probably stop the bus. As the bus shoots off the end of the broken highway, everyone slams against the windshield, and Batroc asks, shouldn't we be falling faster than this? Mr. Fear opens the door and looks under the bus. Hey, Blonde Chick caught the bus. Good job, Blonde Chick. Star struggles to hold the bus up, telling him, shut up and do not talk to me. This takes a lot of concentration, so screw off. After setting and turning the bus around, Star guides them to Jones Beach, and as everyone gets out, she says that she can feel energy coming from this way. It might be him. The group sees a pair of legs sticking out of the bushes, and Taskmaster tells Star to pull him out. Mr. Fear says, wait, is that the Sentry? As Star and Mr. Fear pull the lower half of Sentry out of the bushes, Taskmaster says that Null ripped him in half. Star says that they are so screwed, and Batroc says that he does not think Sentry is going to be of much help to them in a fight anymore. Taskmaster says they don't need him to fight. They just need to blow him up and take out the bad guy. Guy's got a lot of energy still inside of him. That's gonna be an awfully big explosion. Star waits for a moment and then asks, how are we going to survive that? Fantastic Four number 29, King in Black tie-in. Now before we begin this one, guys, I just want to let you know, the very beginning of it is going to be wrapping up some Fantastic Four storyline that was going on before King in Black. So just be aware, you might be a little lost at the beginning. With the Forever Gate finally under control, the Fantastic Four take to 4th Yancey Street to try and restore its remains back into the normal world. As everyone gathers in the streets, Reed says that if his calculations are correct, the spatial compensator will decompress things at a phenomenal rate. He takes a deep breath and he says, here we go, activating the compensator. Within seconds, the building at 4th Yancey Street begins to unfold from its miniature form. Thing watches as the building settles in and laughs, stating that it's good that it's working, because it'd be kinda hard to go back home and kick up your feet if you ain't got no home to come back to. Reed begins to tell him that he did his best to try and restore the old girl to her original specifications, but they won't know if the inside survived until they go in. Everyone quickly heads inside of their home base to see if the restoration did in fact bring everything back, except for Johnny's room, which he is distraught that all of his stuff is gone. Sky tells him it's alright, they can get him new things. In fact, why don't they go do that now? They could even make a date out of it, Johnny. A short while later, over in Soho, Johnny walks out of the clothes store stating that these are currently the only clothes that he has that don't have a giant 4 on them. Might need to get some more. Sky laughs, agreeing, and soon all the people in the neighborhood begin to walk up to her stating hello and asking for small favors. Sky says to hang on. How could she have made so many friends after only being on Earth for a couple of weeks? And she smiles, telling him that she made a life for herself here. This is her neighborhood now, and she is their local superhero. And now that they're soulbound, they can share all of these wonderful and amazing things together. Johnny asks if she's okay with all of that, though. She had to say goodbye to all of her friends and family, even her birds. She tells him it's not like she won't see them again. Besides, she's made plenty of new friends here, and new bird friends. Watch. She begins to tweet out, calling to the nearby pigeons, when suddenly one of them slams into something invisible. Johnny shouts, asking if that's really her, and Sue appears, stating that one hit her right in the head. Johnny asks what she's doing here. Are you spying on us? And Sue tells him that she is just looking out for him. Somebody has to. This whole soulmate thing, it's crazy. Johnny begins to yell that she's had it out for Sky since day one. She never even spied on him like this when he was dating Dory Evans or Crystal or Frankie Ray. Sue says no, she didn't do that he knows of. But before Johnny could respond, Sky points up yelling that something is happening. Everyone looks up to see the black goop raining from the sky, and Johnny yells, "That's the end of the world! Dragons! It's raining space dragons!" Sue radios in asking if they're seeing this, and Reed tells her yes. They will regroup so that they can fight whatever is going on, and Sue asks where are they now. And as a giant flaming 4 appears in the sky, Sue flies up to Reed asking what is happening. Reed states that according to Captain America, this is a Venom-related problem. A being called Null, an ancient god of the symbiotes, is attacking. Johnny shouts that maybe Skye can help them. She can talk to flying things, maybe even flying space dragons? Thing then tells them both to pipe down. This is an all-hands-on-deck situation. Put your game face on, it's clobbering time! The team quickly jumps into the fray to help with the other heroes, but Reed jumps back into the hover car stating that he might have an idea on how to stop this. You all just need to hold on. As Reed leaves, a giant wave of black goo crashes down on everyone, forcing Sue to put up her shields. She looks around seeing that her shield wasn't large enough to protect the other heroes, but before she could beat herself up, she sees Johnny and Spider-Man off in the distance. Sue yells to be careful and not let any of the goop touch you, but as Johnny tells Spidey to leave, Johnny releases an explosion, leaving nothing behind. She calls out to Johnny, but she doesn't get an answer. She then returns to Reed, but Skye flies in asking what happened, where's Johnny? Sue says she doesn't know, she lost track of him. They need to get back to the lab but Skye tells her to wait. She can feel Johnny is still there. He's cold, hurting, struggling, darkness all around him, and he's alone. Sue yells to knock it off with the soul bonding nonsense. Her magic love bond can't bring Johnny back. If she wants to help, they need to leave. But Johnny and Skye being soul bond isn't just something that they state. It means that they are bound to each other. As Johnny was beginning to get taken over by the symbiotes, so does Skye. As the symbiote covers her, she lunges at Sue, stating that they need to spend more time together. Do some bonding! Sue quickly turns invisible to escape, but Skye screeches, bringing Sue back, knocking her to the ground below. Sue then falls into a puddle, and Skye rushes down. She asks, how could she have left her brother to such a fate? Sue tells her to zip it as a force field forms around Skye's head, but Skye breaks it with her calls, summoning all of the new nearby dragons. As the swarm surrounds her, Sue begins to think of something, and that's what she remembers, that the only thing that seemingly stopped these things was Johnny's Nova Blast. She pulls out a small device, triggering it, releasing a blast large enough to keep Skye and the dragons away. She hurries, escaping to 4th Yancey Street with Reed, telling him that she was wrong about so many things today, and now Johnny is one of them. Reed tells her it's going to be okay, but that's when Thing yells over the comms, asking, "Yo, where is everyone?" Sue responds that they are back on Yancey Street, and they could really use some help. Thing tells them, "Sure, I'll be right there." But what they don't see is that Thing has already been controlled by Null's influence. He's on his way to take out the Fantastic Four. And there you have it, 3 more issues of King in Black right here at the Comicstorian channel. Now, the Fantastic Four one kind of wraps up plot lines that were going on Fantastic Four 1 through 28, but it gets caught up real quick, linking us up to a lot of the first issues where Spider-Man and Johnny were fighting and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a weird standalone one. The Thunderbolts one, I'm having a lot of fun with. I love this whole Taskmaster running his own Suicide Squad kind of thing. And the Black Panther one honestly just feels like they were like, hey, Black Panther has to be in the King in Black story. Put him in somewhere. Either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check back next Saturday for the next chapters of King in Black. We've got Venom, we've got Miles Morales, we got King in Black 4, and we got more Venom stuff going on. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys over there for ad-free versions of our content and your chance to vote on what is coming to the channel. Your guys' support is incredible, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time right here.